Yeah, have not been doing any live lately, um, but I want to share some very potent messages from the people I met inside the dream world. Last night I had two dream. It was quite an interesting dream. Let's go ahead me and share with everyone right now. Let me see. Share this. Okay. Hey, what's going on? I was having a vivid dream last night, and I met um superhero. I mean, they were Marvel Comic, the DC or the Marvel universe. It was quite surprising. I met Hawkman. Um, I met Bumblebee Man. I mean, they were dressing like in Bumblebee technical costume or Wasp Man or one of them. Um, I met a lot. That's like the entire people were like Marvel Comic superhero character. Anyway, what's really interesting, I met the one, I believe he was either an Eagle Man or a Hawk Man. He was technically advanced, and he was like, damn, he was like tall. He was 9 feet or something, and he was like a man, right? But he was dressed in a Hawk uniform. And to make long story short, he and I met other superhero. There was, I can say I can recall, there was Iron Man. He was in there, and they were all tall. It's like in the dream, it was like you know the age of my 8-year-old son, right? But I know I'm a man. But in the dream, these people were like tall, and they were like they actually were superhero. And I even touched it. I asked them, "Can I you know, touch them?" And they said, "Yeah." So I touched the armor, and they was like, it was like was like their suit was real high technology, was made of nanotechnology. And I asked them like, where the hell am I? Where is this place? And they were all, and a lot of them smiled, a lot of them, some of them didn't say anything, smiling, some of them was laughing. And they explained it to me, this is the world of, where they coming, where I am at was like in a world of superhero, you know, like people who actually, um, and they explained to me in this reality, this world or this realm, everyone that is here have the same goal to bless people, to save people, to guide them. So any along that nature, you were able to meet them in this world. And I asked them, why it's so real. They say this is the real world. They told me it is a real world. And I told them that, you know, and then one of them, and Hawkman looked at me. He say, "You look sad." I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Oh, don't tell me. Let me take a look at you." So Hawkman is like, suddenly his forehead crystal right here was shining, and suddenly it formed a shape with his eye and two eye, and then the crystal eye right there, and then it glow, and then there was a bright intense light, golden light, just scanning scanning me, just like that, and it's quite interesting. And then he say, okay, he know what's going on. He understand why my soul is tired and looks sad. So he sit down with me on this kind of a bench. It was a long bench, right? And then we were like also in a place like a plateau. And I remember it was a plateau, but this plateau, like this, all this superhero gathered it, you know. And okay, let me say some more. Okay, let me share with the feedback. Okay, let me share some more. let me messenger. Okay. And so all this superhero was sitting gang, they were like doing their thing, and then a lot, and then many other superhero, and many superhero was like singing around me. Like I saw Iron Man, Iron Hawk, a Golden Eagle. You know, this is like their uniform, right? And they were very tall. They were like compared to me, I was like, next to their thigh, and they were quite impressively tall. And I'm 5'6" in this world, I was at their thigh area, and then so Hawkman sit down and he started explaining to me that he understand why I'm sad, that my soul is sad, and not happy and burnt out. And he began to explain that my world has been invaded by confusion, where people don't honor, their parent, their mother, their father, and their own uh, physical gender, and they don't honor their own mind, and they don't honor their own heritage, and they don't honor. In other words, they don't give value to their father, their mother, their own biological gender, their own emotional and mental construct. And this is, he explained to me, this is all the first teacher you encounter. The first teacher you encounter is the parent. They say who nurture you, who guide you with guidance, so you can have the right tool for you to know yourself in everyday life and know your duty and what you're part of and your greater duty. And he explained it to me that our world has been invaded by the by an ego complex called Mr. Know It All, and the one who is not considerate to themselves or to the people around them. And what happened, this false ego of Mr. Know It All have consumed people personality, and they create what we call the spirit of rebelling, or the spirit of confusion. And it come from the idea that where a person think they know it all, think they know more than a great parent, great grandparent, great grandmother, great ancestor, no more than their parent, um, no more than their biological in instinct or intuition, or emotional instinct, intuition, even mental instinct and intuition. And this what created called those you know who don't stay in the lane and does not perform their spiritual or the physical duty in that lifetime, and that's not be consideration to the physical gender. Like, for example, if you're born as a male and then you overstep your male role, you beginning to filter. That means you don't honor, don't value your male gender, or your male personality, or your male instinct, and then your emotional male instinct, your mental male personality. Then what happened? You begin to be confused. And then those who born as female, when they don't give value to their female gender or their female personality that has been integrated with the package, which is the emotional female personality or mental female personality, they beginning to to not doing their female duty, or they those who have the male gender don't doing their male um, male duty, and that's what create what we call the confusion. And he explained it to me. He understand where this origin is coming from, where one does not be considerate of the purpose. And he explained it to me how the world of Adam work. We are made of energy. Then when energy come together, it can choose the form, but before they take on a form, they go through molecular networking, from atomic networking, then they form into atomic package. And then this package form together, network together, this atomic package will form molecular network. Molecular, then the molecular will form into a molecular molecule network. And then he explained to me how things work together. And there was a specific why energy take on a certain form. He explained to me that energy is spirit, is consciousness. Once it have a purpose, it will take that form. And even if this molecular form together, it will form what we call guardian. And in our world, he said this guardian are known as viruses, fungus, bacteria. And this guardian can be your bestest friend or your worst enemy, depending on your what thought form you are obeying. If you obey positive thought form, you will encounter positive guardian or elemental guardian or guardian, a guardian angel, meaning this bacteria, virus, fungus will help you to become advanced. But if you entertaining negative thought form, negative idea that go against life, idea that not being considerate of other life, and those who's younger than you, those who older than you, those who weaker than you, or those who's stronger than you, then you become what we call demonic, he explained. Demonic. And then you will encounter demonic virus, demonic fungus, demonic bacteria, and it will consume you. And then I was like amazed and impressed that this being this in this dream world is so vivid, last night. He was explaining how bacteria, virus, and fungus, are in line with spiritual dimension, and what we call the world of the micro is more larger than the world of the macro, because every square inch contains trillions and billion of this guardian or demonic force. And when a person who entertain negative thought or negative idea of harming life, then they will attract. Then this guardian will also will entertain that, and they will meet the bacteria and demonic bacteria, demonic fungus, demonic virus that is already in everyone and around them. And they will start speaking to them and voicing them and encouraging them to go that route to self-destruction. And then I asked, and then those who entertain the positive idea, positive thought, then this bacteria, this virus, this this fungus who is called guardian now become guardian angel. They'll start whispering to them, communicate with them harmonically, chemically, and also electromagnetically, and also energetically, spiritually, into positive. This bacteria, this thing is known as elemental guardian. And he explained to me this is how the universe and reality work. Everything starts with the small and will enlarge into the huge, but everything is interrelated with each other. And he explained it to me in our world, the people or earth or where we come from has entertained it. Okay, the spirit are in consideration. This is the thought or in consideration, and that's what caused people to dishonor, meaning has no that don't give value to the physical gender, and that's what created a world of confusion right now. When you no longer being when you entertain the spirit of in consideration, you no longer are considerate to the elder, to the young one, to your own body, your own emotion, your own mind, and to the other people body, emotion, mind. And this is what because now they don't give value to what help humanity to progress, and they don't give value to help um, well-being at all. Now they have given to demonic, and this is demon thought, meaning The word demon or daemon, Diamon, is actually is a helpful spirit. But the Catholic Church, the universal religion, didn't want no competition, so they used the word daemon as meaning evil. So if you got stuck with it. And another word for evil or evil information is known as misinformation, meaning it people have using misinformation to take over their mind to enact on misinformation where it's all about them because they believe themselves to be false ego. And then this false ego led them to entertain this false ego, which they have attract and generate themselves across space time. And now they don't give value to their gender, their own gender, or even the gender of other life form. They no longer, and then once that they don't stay in the lane. They no longer do this physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual duty in this civilization. And and to add on, they have become the ancient that will destroy the human civilization, the human family, the human familyhood, the human where older brother and sister will take care of the young will help take care of the older. They in turn the children take care of their parent, and the parent take care of the grandparent, and so forth. That because the spirit they have the people have entertained the spirit of inconsideration, they have no longer give value to their gender, he explained. So he said that people need to reverse this thought. They need to take idea and example that works for a world, that create progression and advancement, not not uh, not idea or action that handicap the progression of our species, of our civilization. Because he, as he said in the dream, the tree grow forward, not backward. So he explained that when a male start like see sexual attraction to another male and a female see sexual attraction to another female, and this is what the evil virus, evil bacteria, evil um, um, fungus do when you because all he said that the virus, the fungus, the bacteria are positive neutral. They are there. But once you entertain negative thought, like the thought of inconsideration, that's when they're beginning to become evil, becoming twisted, and begin to speak to you because that's what you choose. So once you choose something, and that's what this bacteria, fungus, or the elemental guardian and viruses start to channel also. But if you entertain the idea of consideration, to be considerate, then, positive thought, then the bacteria, the virus, the fungus will start to also come close to you. Feel they also to be aligned with that idea, that thought form, that information. They will become guardian, elemental guardian, angel, and they will help you. And and so as for what he was explaining, because this type of action, this type of thought form, the Hawkman explaining that it will end a civilization where people are being inconsiderate, not giving value to their own sexual gender, their own human form. And when you don't give value to that, you begin to defile it. You begin to disrespect it. And then he said that this type of action, and he project the progression of this type of behavior, it will end a civilization as we know it. It will end what made us human. It will end what made us um, a human angelic species. It will cause the great reset. And he explained to me even in the dream about the great reset that, I mean, he was like, oh, he was like, and he put my hand on my heart like that. He say, son, I'm going to show you what happened to world who do not take course correction. Because he explained to me that as humans, as human being that in this form, doesn't matter what planet or dimension you born into, your purpose from prime, he's a prime creator, from the prime creator is to bless our life throughout the universe, not to create idea or tool or invention that harm life, but to create idea, tool, invention that promote life. So the idea where a human being has a female and a male, because the female is creativity, the male is protector. They protect creativity. When both come together, they're able to protect another life form, another offspring. Because human being was designed to create, to come together, because no being are made to be alone. You need your better half. The male need the female better female half in physical form, which is a female, and the female need the male her better half, which is channeled through the male, and therefore together they become a team. They become partner in life, partner in creativity, and that partner can merge with other partner, form a greater community. And Hawkman explained that this is how this setup is, and from time immemorial, you can look at all the tradition of every planet, including he even showed a historical of a superhero planet, and how everything, the ideas start with simple structure that help promote life, help promote the next generation. So any structure, any idea that go against promoting the current well-being of life and the next generation, that is become, he said, it become evil, demonic. That need to be course corrected and changed. So people need to take tradition or example that is more beneficial toward life and toward each of the gender. And he said that from the record, from the universal record of all the historical superhero data, say any planet, okay, that has crossed the line where people no longer respect their gender respectively, then that planet sooner or later will face the Great Reset. And he explained what the Great Reset is the cosmic law that superhero like themselves are commissioned it, either from their planet or from another higher planet, are tasked with, they're tasked with a monarch fleet, go to that particular planet to help course correction or to do a clean slate, meaning annihilation of that civilization that is going against prime creator rule. That the prime creator create everything as a gift, and when the gift are abused it on any level, that means it's disrespected or been devalued it, and the word devalue meaning that it has not been honored. The word honor meaning you value something, you give it value, you give it honor. If you devalue something, that means that you're not honoring it, because the prime creator goal, he explained, for all sentient life is to progress. And that's it, to progress toward the level of cosmic consciousness. So every journey is about progression, and anything that go against progression, it that means that civilization need to do course correction themselves. If not, they will send a fleet of superhero or angel they call or aliens. He explained, depending term what you're comfortable with, and we'll do a great reset on that planet or star system. And they say it's not pretty, my son. It's not pretty. He give an example when he displays holoscreen. He give example that the whole planet is like been murdered, been gone, been dusterized. Even the gigantic being, the dinosaur being was vaporized or turned into stone, just like that. And I was like, whoa. So it's some kind of just one swoop. Doesn't matter their height here or there on the surface world, it's all gone overnight. Turn into stone. Even the technology turn into stone. Flesh, blood, tree, even metal turned into stone. And he demonstrated that. Well, I say, what kind of weapon is this? He called this beam called molecular rearrangement technology. This beam can rearrange your molecular structure. Man, I say how it works. He said, he explained here. He even created, he said, watch. He pressed the button. He just went over his hand. It's like it's over his hand, his hologram. And then there was some kind of handheld weapon. He said the idea is to this molecular has a vibration, and you can target something conventionally or non-conventionally, because everything has a molecular signature. He called. You can actually, in order to change them a signature, you can actually rearrange the molecular structure where it becomes something else because energy can take on form. If you rearrange it molecular structure, it becomes something else entirely different. It's no longer carry the same signature like before. And so when the particle beam is like the beam of light, if it shine on you, it totally in sync with your molecular structure, and it can ask the molecular structure to rearrange itself to wood, to metal. So he took a rock and he demonstrated. He used his telekinetic. He levitated the rock and then he asked me to shoot it. But he asked the gun has an AI in there, and would ask the AI to change this this rock into a diamond. So I said change it to a diamond, and then it's like a light pulse, and it actually changed into a diamond. It rearranged from rock to carbon pattern. Then I asked it, I said, okay, can we change it into gold? It's a gun, change it into gold. When I fire pulse, it changed from diamond to gold. So the pulse actually giving the instruction to the molecular, you say the molecular structure is still energy, but it's networking like a network computer. If you give it an instruction, it will carry it out. It will rearrange itself because he told me everything is living, everything is alive. So when by understanding this level of a relationship, then the macro form, we are the reflection of the micro form. And then we say, I'm asking him who is prime creator. Prime creator is the spirit of all of us. It's the collective consciousness of all that is, he said. And it does not want for us to be to go backward. It wants us to move forward, to realizing we are the collective consciousness. We are prime creative source. We are progression. And so our action, words, deed, and emotion is toward progression. And that's why he said that is our duty as sentient being to move forward, not backward, to make progression. So we can know ourselves better through that perspective. I say, what happened if people give into the idea of evil? What happened to them? That means they become inconsiderate. They overstepping their lane. They not staying in their lane. They not carrying out their duty as a sentient life. That's why they put here in this dimension, because every being who born in different dimension has the same rule to do their duty. And that's why in this superhero universe and planet, everyone know their duty, and we encourage each other to do your duty. As you are a male, you are the superhero aspect of this male, just though a female, they are superhero aspect of the female. We help each other because there's no one man army here. Everyone is a piece of the creator. So therefore, we hope to remind each other that we are part of the all that is, he explained. And that was beautiful. So at that moment, I saw a bumblebee guy, and then he crashed in, like crashed into the tree, and I was laughing. It's like a man, he's like a freaking bumblebee. It's like he dressing in a bumblebee. He was like a chubby, and he dressed in a bumblebee uniform, and he crashed into the tree. He was flying something. I was like, I couldn't help it. It was hilarious, and I. And he said, "Did I miss something?" And then I laughed. Oh my God! And that was the message of the dream world that I did. I asked him, Before I left, I say, I feel I'm going to be waking up soon. You say, do you have any question? I say, so people who in my world that male like male, a male want to fuck a male, and a female want to fuck female. I mean, have sex with female, and male who want to have sex with male dope people. That mean this, they no longer honor their own gender or their duty as a male, meaning they don't no longer give value. Because this idea, they came from the idea of in consideration of the fake news that they're giving value to what is not help them to progress or your civilization to progress. So now they act as enemy. They act as villain. They act as evil. If they don't course correct themselves, then those who carry the light will rise. If he say this, those who act like your enemy, they are your enemy. If they act against your civilization, they act like against the family, against the structure of a family, the structure of a brother, a male and female, and they defile the family, they defile what is positive for the human race. They are demonic, they are evil. They need to be take to the side and talk to. If they don't change their way, he said there's only one way to deal with them. And I say, what's that? What does superhero supervillain do? They will fight. They act as enemy. They need to be dealt as enemy. You mean kill them? And he looked at me. If they are not part of life, they need to be sent to the next world. And let the next world, the higher power, deal with them. And that is the only way. Because they staying here is not useful for them. Because they are not helping life. They are not doing their duty. Then what in they what are doing here? People came here to help life, to help progression. If they go against that, then they go against Prime Creator, God. And therefore they need to be sent to other world. So they no longer will be an obstacle toward those who serve the Prime Creator God. And in other words, he said that they need to be either isolated, where they can get rehabilitated, and those who don't conform to go back to do their duty, then he say, in essence, he said, kill them, eliminate them. They are enemy because they no longer part of Prime Creator mission. So therefore they have abused, they have defiled what Prime Creator have given to them. And they here to be the agent of evil. They working against Prime Creator. So therefore they serving the spirit of inconsideration. And they no longer carry the light. They now carry misinformation. And therefore they go against Prime Creator of the universe. The Prime Creator of the universe wants everyone to know themselves as Prime Creator and to make progression. And if people have chosen to carry the misinformation, to be inconsiderate, and to go against what the purpose of Prime Creator, then they need to be isolated, rehabilitated, or killed it, that they be sent to the next world. Because to let them stay, they are attracting more inconsideration, and they will confuse the current generation, the next generation, and that will create not progression, but the destruction of human civilization and family and brotherhood, sisterhood that our traditional ancestors have laid forth the principle, and that's what give birth to us. And then if we defy that, that means if we don't give that value or we dishonor that, we also dishonor who we are as the human species. Because we did not come dishonor on. We have roots. We came from great grandfather, grandmother, mother, father, brother and sister, aunt and uncle. We came from a rich traditional history of both moral and duty and spiritual duty, emotional duty to each other and to this planet and to this cosmos and to Prime Creator and to our ancestors who give their all to us so we may progress. And so is this being who give to the idea in consideration and not being considerate and not giving value to what is valuable for the human species, human power to make progression toward more of themselves and to serve prime creator. Therefore, the human being who give to the idea of in consideration and not giving value to their own gender, then they have served now what we call evil. And they become the villain. And he explained those who superhero must stand up and must isolate those who act like your enemy because they are your enemy. Isolate them and let them be and let them get them rehabilitation so they can find themselves again. If those who cannot be helped, then they need to be eliminated because they cannot be loose on any creation in the society because they will defile and cause more confusion and they become destruction of everyone that is weak, that is not strong. So as those who are strong need to become protector or superhero to fight those who serve the fake news, the spirit of confusion, the spirit of um of inconsideration, because people need to learn to be considerate of their gender, of their emotional, their mind, respectively, and their ancestor, and give value to that. And the parent is the first teacher, and they're the one that impart value to you. And no ancestor impart where female have sex with female and male have sex with male, that will not create no baby. That will create bad example. That's non-progression toward human civilization. That will create destruction. And as the superhero explained to me, they explained though any civilization that served the idea of non-progression is called inconsideration, then there'll be a fleet of angel or extraterrestrial that was sent and weapon to be used on that civilization. It will reset the entire planet or star system. Because anyone who go against prime creator and they don't do their duty, there's angel who watch angel. There's advanced civilization who watch over weaker civilization to keep them in check so they won't do anything against prime creator. Because he explained to me, as sentient life on any dimension, you born with two purposes. One, to give value to who you are and the gift that been given to you, which is the gender, body, emotion, mind, and spirit. And two, to always bless other life. And so that result, the prime creator will bless you always and guide you always. And so to maintain creation efficiency or cohesion that will promote all type of life. So they will have a chance to reach sentiency. So as you move up in consciousness, your body will change into light, he explained. And then you're able to guide lower civilization. But to those lower levels of civilization who does not comply with the directive prime creator, they will be resetted. Only a few are allowed to be safe, like some children or some wise elder allowed to be safe to propagate the species again. And I say, this sound like the Sodom and Gomorrah I explained in the dream. He say, exactly, but it does not only happen once, but in many civilization and planet, he explained. Because those who go against prime creator, directive. And then I say, he put my hand on my forehead and say, you understand our son, that don't feel sad about this. They say, all will come together, all will be one. And those people who does not give value to themselves, they will be removed from your plane of existence or any plane of existence. They will go self-destruct. And those who don't, they will be dealt with by people like who have our same understanding perspective like us. And your world will have people who like it's like us too. They will meet and they'll be dealt with. I explained to them because these people had caused confusion toward the new generation. He said we are he said that that's we understand that's why you're sad, because these people have touch and had defiled the innocent. They is the children. And they went after them to kill them or to mutilate them, their genital. And And I explained to the superhero that they have this thing called transgender, the spirit of confusion on our end. And he explained to me, though people will be no more in a little bit. Because he's looking at our world, say artificial intelligence will take over your world and will put chip in everyone's brain and monitor their behavior. And those who no longer carry moral torch will be eliminated, will be purged from your reality. There's only can be progression, not destruction of your species. So he explained. He showed me the future, what is happening, and I saw the future. It's like everyone who is not morally in line with traditional or progression, they were captured it, they were sent to rehabilitated, and those who comply were reintegrated to society, and those who don't, basically they were isolated. They have a choice to be isolated or to take the shot, meaning they give them a special injection where they turn into fertilizer. And those who try to create disruption, they were dealt very swiftly. And then there is what we call our gender police. Our moral gender police was created to help the AI to become counselor, to remind the children, the elder, the adult that we must here to create progression, serving the prime creator, because scientists have come to the realization that consciousness maintain a fish cohesion in reality, meaning the way human think, the way human focus, believe in thought, shape our physical world and our spiritual dimension. So everyone becoming morally advanced, and how energy would work with the aura and the chakra, and to see aura and see other being become released to the public thanks to the AI. And therefore people become mindful, practice mindfulness, words and deed does affect reality and themselves and each other. And so therefore inconsideration was eradicated throughout planet Earth. And also those who fight against this level of a directive was captured. Either he rehabilitated those who make progression or released back into society those who don't. They were isolated and they have an option to leave this world. And therefore, because their activity was not promoted, let them live it, because it caused a bad energy toward the etheric energy realm, because people become more aware of what we do, of what we deem the morphogenic for the etheric, recording it. And we don't want to send wrong messages toward the etheric, because it might attract negative thought form. And so weapon was created how to fight against negative thought form by thinking, by entertaining positive thought form. So people become very mindful in the shortcoming future. And those who follow transgender, lesbian, gay was eliminated. Talking about those who fight back, cause they were shot and killed. Okay, they were killed. They were killed by people who serve prime creator God. And they are the true hero, because they have touched the children and they crossed the red line. And so the government of the world chant against them. And the AI chants against them. And the angel chant against them. And therefore they crossed the red line when they touched the children. And so therefore they no longer tolerate, and gays, lesbian, transgender was outlawed throughout the timeline. And anyone who entertained it will be eliminated on site, because the AI put chip in everybody. So those ideas are never entertaining, and people will know such confusion again. And that's how the future of, and then the superhero explained it to me. He said this transition will be harsh to those who give it to the idea in consideration. It will be heaven to those who give into the idea of consideration, or that toward progression. And those who give to the idea in consideration and confusion is going to be living nightmare for them, because our realm will reject them. And that's how the superhero being explained it. I thank you, everyone. Any question? Okay, thank you for observing me. So, my personal messages, I just want to share this vivid dream with everyone. I thought it was interesting, and I met all type of superhero from the DC universe and Marvel universe. I think it was beautiful, and it was to me it was awesome, and I hope you enjoy it. And thank you very much. Okay, bye bye, everyone.